Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Winners and losers from Warriors preseason victory versus Kings. The Golden State Warriors may have recorded their second preseason victory on Wednesday against the Sacramento Kings, but the performance was chalk and cheese from their opening win on Saturday. Not put off by their dismal 11 of 48, 22.9% three-point shooting against the Clippers, the Warriors scorched the Kings with 28 made threes in what was a far more fluent and pleasing offensive display from the visitors. Led by 14 combined triples from Buddy Hield, DeAnthony Melton, and Jonathan Kuminga, Golden State's 28 threes on 53.8% shooting would have broken a franchise record had it not been in a preseason game. Despite the hot shooting which saw them go 15 of 27 from beyond the arc in the first half, the Warriors actually trailed by 2 points at the main break after giving up 41 second-quarter points. Led by 15 points on a perfect 6 of 6 shooting from All-Star acquisition DeMar DeRozan, the Kings shot 58.3% from the floor in the first half. The sheer volume of Golden State's three-point shooting ultimately proved too much, particularly in the second half where their bench depth was showcased in contrast to their opponent. Head coach Steve Kerr responded not much when asked about what he liked on the defensive side of the ball, noting that the Kings picked them apart with their execution. He was much more complimentary of his team's offense, and rightly so given it was a near-flawless display, particularly for a preseason game. From an individual standpoint, the majority of players will have left this game feeling pretty good about themselves and their performance. That's not to say there's not a few who would have left disappointed, either because of their play or a lack of opportunity. Why Warriors' 3 new veterans have Kerr feeling familiar vibe. It's been 10 days since the Warriors opened training camp, and coach Steve Kerr is having visions of yesteryear. He's seeing Klay Thompson, who in July chose to leave Golden State and sign with the Dallas Mavericks. Seeing Andre Iguodala, who retired a year ago. Seeing Shaun Livingston, who retired 5 years ago. They were good for the team on the floor and good for morale in the locker room. Good for the franchise in general. It took a few years, but Kerr believes the summertime additions of Kyle Anderson, Buddy Hield, and DeAnthony Melton give the Warriors 3 incoming veterans with similar attributes. DeAnthony and Kyle give us, in different ways, a little bit of what Andre and Shaun gave us, veteran wisdom, high IQ, Kerr told NBC Sports Bay Area on Thursday. Buddy gives us a lot of what Klay has given us, that lightning bolt three-point shooting. Pin downs. Causing chaos with the defense with off-ball movement. Those 3 guys together really fortify our team. The comparison is loose, Kerr conceded, but not as crazy as it might seem. As the Warriors' young core, Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and Thompson blossomed into prosperity in Kerr's first season, they realized the value of acquiring such respected veterans as Iguodala and Livingston. They brought a certain credibility. They were the adults in the room. These Warriors, aside from Curry, Green, and Andrew Wiggins, have a lot of youth. For players who figure to be in the rotation, Tracy Jackson-Davis, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and Brandon Podziemski are under 25 years of age. They're open to advice from veterans. Particularly if those vets still have game. Hield is 31, as is Anderson. Melton is 26, but he's entering his 7th NBA season. Through training camp and 2 preseason games, it's evident all 3 are playing at a high level. Melton is a solid two-way guard, making a strong bid to start alongside Curry in the backcourt. Anderson is a rangy, subtly clever forward assured of being one of the team's most valuable reserves. Hield could be the team's 6th man, a role once held by Iguodala and likely ticketed for Thompson had he returned. We've really been emphasizing running the floor in transition, really sprinting, and Buddy, man, does he fly in transition, Kerr said. And what it does is pull the defense with him. That opens up other people to be open for shots. I love that about him. He's a great transition runner. Like Prime Thompson, Hield is a three-point specialist who uses off-ball movement to wear down opposing defenses and free himself for shots, as he did in Wednesday night's preseason game, when he made 6 of 7 from beyond the arc against the Sacramento Kings. There is another, more intangible factor Hield brings that is reminiscent of Pete Clay. "Buddy brings what Clay always brought us before, everyone just laughs when Buddy is around," Kerr said. "And the joy goes with a style of play, and it feeds on itself." Iguodala and Thompson own 4 rings each. Livingston owns 3. They were essential components of championship teams. They helped the Warriors raise the bar to the highest level. That's not in the forecast for Hield, Anderson, and Melton. But Kerr and every member of the front office would gladly accept their help in returning Golden State to an advantageous position for the playoffs. Warriors add proven talent in mock trade with Wizards. The Golden State Warriors, after losing Klay Thompson in free agency, are still looking to compete for a playoff spot. As long as Stephen Curry is playing at a high level, the Warriors will be expected to make the playoffs, and the additions of Buddy Hield, DeAnthony Melton, and Kyle Anderson suggest that Golden State is still gunning for the playoffs. Still, they only have 3 proven centers on their roster, and none of them are over 6'9". Tracy Jackson-Davis showed promise last season and could be due for a minutes increase, but the Warriors will continue to rely on Draymond Green and Kevin Looney in the frontcourt, and the former has proven to be anything but reliable in recent seasons. As the trade deadline approaches, the Warriors should pursue a trade with the Washington Wizards, who will be looking to unload any veteran talent they have. Washington is in the midst of a rebuild, and 31-year-old center Jonas Valanciunas simply doesn't fit their timeline. He is incredibly reliable, physical, and strong, and would provide some much-needed rebounding down low for the Warriors. Over the last 3 seasons, he has averaged 14.6 points, 10.1 rebounds, and 0.8 blocks. He is an excellent interior presence, and while he wouldn't space the floor, the Warriors have plenty of other players who can shoot. Valanciunas and Green could split center duties, and Green could share the floor with the more traditional center. Jonathan Kuminga could slot in at either forward position, so the deal would not hinder his growth and development. Moody hasn't seen much of a usage increase over his brief career, and at only 22 years old with a solid outside shot, Washington should be willing to take him and make him a part of a young core that prioritizes development. Looney, who only has 1 season left on his contract, would not hurt Washington's financial flexibility, and he balances salaries to make this deal work. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Jonas Valanciunas? Leave your opinion in the comments.